just double check that I have the settings set the way I want them. Max lives, max bombs. On, key config. Okay, everything's separate, good. For some reason this defaulted to having shoot and low speed or focus on the same button. Anyway. Back to the title. So, yeah, I needed a theme for the month between about PAX and MagFest or so. Didn't want to get anything too, like, serial that would keep taking up a lot of time. So, I have a bunch of Touhou games. Let's make it Danmaku December. So I've decided the rules I'll be playing on for this will be normal difficulty. Each Touhou game has easy, normal, hard, and lunatic. The biggest differences tend to be between normal and hard in my experience. The patterns change significantly between them. Easy tends to be a dumbed down normal, and hard is a souped up lunatic. Or vice versa. Lunatic's a souped up hard. Anyway, the Touhou games. Made apparently by one guy who goes by Zune. Released under the, Team Shanghai Alice label. It's the best description I think I've heard of this that's succinct is it's a spaceship game with anime girls. The series takes place in a fantasy world called Gensokyo. Apparently is kind of next to but separate from our world. There's some kind of barrier around it related to the Hakurei Shrine, which is currently run by Reimu Hakurei, the primary protagonist. Other protagonists include Kirisame Marisa, the what do they call her? A Western-style Eastern magician. Anyway, Reimu is generally considered the best beginner character because she tends to move more slowly, which makes her more controllable, have a smaller hitbox so she doesn't get hit as easily. She'll frequently have a homing shot option, which isn't as good for damage as a lot of the other characters and options, but does mean you don't have to worry about lining yourself up with things as much. It makes it easier to take out large amounts of small enemies. And you can see they have kind of stats here in the corner. There's move speed, 3 stars for her, 4 for Marisa. This is basically shot area. So 4 stars for Reimu, 1 for Marisa. And then attack power, 3 for Reimu, 4 for Marisa. Anyway. Rules I'm playing on Homely Reimu, normal difficulty, go as far as I can, use continues as needed. So let's get started. Basic controls, you have 8 directional movement. You start off at the bottom of the screen but don't have to stay down there. Going higher can help you to hit more things, collect more stuff. These point items, the blue ones that are dropping, are worth more the higher on the screen you collect them. So moving up for points is a definite tactic. Once you get enough of the power items, the red Ps, you get these options next to you, which will shoot your additional shots. In Homing Reimu's case, it's the homing amulets, which are the blue ones which home in on enemies. Each stage has a mid-boss. Here, the mid-boss is the same character as the stage boss. Brumia, some kind of knight yokai. Yokai being the Japanese, basically catch-all term for supernatural creatures. As you can see, as power goes up, you get more shots, you can do more damage, you can shoot down more things more easily. Sometimes you'll get bigger power items dropping, those give you more power than the small ones. Yeah, you basically have 3 buttons as far as your control goes. There's shooting, which I normally have held down constantly, because usually there's no reason not to. There's slow movement in Japanese, or it's generally called focus in English. You hold that, you move more slowly. It's useful especially for dodging in dense areas of enemy fire, which are common especially on higher difficulties and later stages. We have a little dialogue here. Reimu's saying it's nice out. Not too many evil spirits and whatever. Don't know where I'm going, it's dark. But anyway, romantic. Honky is kind of carefree. Here's Reimu. So no yo ne. Is our title here, Yokai of Darkness, Rumia. We just met earlier. Bird eye, I think, is some kind of idiom for not having good sight in the dark, probably. Anyway. She's getting annoyed. I'm not really reading the dialogue. The dialogue is usually not that relevant to what's going on. Basically, things are getting darker and staying darker than they should, and Reimu, or whoever your protagonist, goes off to investigate. And now Reimu's saying, "You're in my way." So we fight. Bosses get their own music. The music is shown in the corner there. And yeah. Dodge around those. You can also dodge through them. There's plenty of space in there. Especially on lower difficulties like normal. Okay, first spell card, Nightbird. So new concept as of the Windows Touhou games are spell cards. These are special attacks that the opponents use. You also have your own spell cards in the form of bombs. You can see in the status bar on the right I have 3 bombs available, as well as 4 Vives. Bomb is your other useful button. If you press that, you use one of your bombs. That does a powerful attack that generally hits most or all of the screen, does a lot of damage, gives you temporary invulnerability, auto-collects items. Yeah, stage 1 on normal, pretty insignificant. You get bonuses, bonus for the stage, bonus for your power, bonus for grazing. Okay, graze, in case you're not familiar with this, graze is when you get near an enemy bullet. I want to say without hitting it, but that's not actually true. If you do run into it, you take a death, but you do still get the graze points. This is a good time to bomb for item collection, because there's a lot of stuff on the screen, and there's no real way you're going to get to it all. Point items, as I think I mentioned, are worth more the further up the screen you are. If you're above, like, there or so, you get the max value, which looks like it's 100,000. And I believe it's an extra life every 1,000,000 points. And here's our mid-boss. This is Daiyose, which is basically just Greater Fairy. You do want to try staying lined up with your opponents to do maximal damage, especially with Marisa, but to a lesser extent with Reimu as well, because she does have those shots that just go straight forward. Some enemies will drop bombs. Got one there. The green bee. Full power mode means this is as high as your power goes. Also, when you're in full power mode, if you go towards the top of the screen, items will kind of shoot right in at you. So it makes it easy to collect them. It makes it easy to get the full point bonus for point items if you stay up there long enough. You do have to actually wait for it to get to you before pulling back down. Of course, the downside of going up to collect items is most of your opponents and passers are coming from the top of the screen. So there's a risk involved. Anyway, Reimu's questioning she has bad sense of direction, and here is Churno, the ice fairy on the lake, better known as one of the biggest idiots in all of Touhou. But she's a fan favorite, so she keeps coming back. She gets these shotgun blasts, which I could probably dodge through, but it's easier to go around them if you want to be safe. And here's her first cell. Icicle Fall. This is not Icicle Fall easy, so you do actually need to dodge. The easy version of Icicle Fall has a huge blind spot right in front of her, so you can just sit there and shoot and not even need to move. But normal Icicle Fall, not that dangerous either. In between your spell cards, you'll have phases of normal attacks from the bosses and mid-bosses once they start using spell cards. I forget, did Daiyose use any? Yeah, one of the tactics with this kind of game is, basically there are 2 types of enemy shots. There are aimed and unaimed. So unaimed shots will just go wherever. Generally have the same pattern no matter where you are. The aimed shots will either go directly at you or be at an offset to that. So you can avoid those by kind of moving slightly to the side a little bit at a time. This is Cherno's signature Perfect Freeze. I got an extra life of points, which is nice. There's Diamond Blizzard. And this is just spam everywhere. I think these are all unnamed and just kind of get thrown out from wherever her current location is. Scatters in all directions. You want to try to stay more or less below your opponent to get the maximal damage. Maybe saying that was cold. That's something about a refrigerator or refrigerated storage? Oh, no. That's a sickness kanji, so hypothermia, probably. Anyway. Cherno's a nice fairy and not too bright. Stage 3, we're getting closer to our destination. And again, Zune does everything for the games. All the programming, all the art, all the shot designs, all the characters, all the music. Yeah, those are aimed at you, so if you just kind of move a little to the side, you're perfectly safe. Also, you can misdirect them like that. These are not aimed, however. Or if they are, it's not obviously so. So the deal with the spell cards is if you get through them before time runs out without getting hit and without using a bomb, you get bonus points and are considered to have, they call it capturing the spell card. If you do get hit, or you run out of time, or you use a bomb, you do not get the bonus. But bombing is better than taking a death, usually. So here's Hon Mei-ling. It's the normal attack patterns. The health will go down a lot more quickly than on the spell cards. I think they have some degree of armor on the... Your hitbox is smaller than your character sprite, but it's not quite that small. Reimu's is usually smaller than the other characters. And there's a 1-up. Some opponents do drop them. It's pretty uncommon, but every once in a while. If you're hearing a little clicking noise when on near enemy shots, that's the graze sound. And I steered right into that. I need to focus more on my character. Almost went into that line of kunai. Mei-ling is back. Tsuite Kurenayo, don't follow me. Thanks for the guidance. Anyway, there's her little thing, something about a Chinese girl, basically, I think. Anyway. Not really reading the dialogue, let's just get to the fight. I believe her attacks tend to have like a floral theme to them. Also, because of the way your shots fan out, you usually do a little more damage if you get closer to your opponent. Especially with certain shot patterns. I don't think it's that noticeable with this one, and overcorrected there. I need to bomb more. That's something I do a lot, is I don't bomb when I should. The game also has a concept known as death bombing, where if you bomb in a split second after getting hit, the bomb still counts and you don't take a death. However, it is a very short interval, and if you successfully do it, it gets shorter until the next time you die. Some of the later games give you a longer mercy window, basically. Okay. Some kind of rain. Don't know the first kanji. But it's powerful. Mei-ling's attacks do tend to be very powerful. Again, the floral theme. Yeah. I think I felt kind of cornered there, so safer to bomb than not. I do want to try to get to Remelia. Remelia being the boss of stage 6, the final stage. Assuming you don't go into the extra stage, which is separate anyway. But More on that if we get that far. There we go. Spell card bonus. Anyway, Reimu's asking for more escorting. Yang is apologizing to the Ojo-sama, or mistress, basically, for failing in her duty. She's supposed to be the gate guard. We have the Dark Library. We have fairies dropping these spell circle things. I'm not exactly sure what you would call those. Is it spell circle? Yeah, here's another place where misdirecting can help. Yeah, these fairies don't shoot directly. They leave those that shoot in their stead. Yeah, I should have dodged the side of that, instead of trying to go up into it. These, I think, yes, these particular fairies, when you take one of them out, it clears the screen of shots. Which is quite welcome. These tomes that are shooting stuff everywhere. This is just a dense field of stuff to avoid. It's not even that dense compared to higher difficulties. You should see this on Lunatic. And here we go. Mid-boss, Koakama. These bubble-looking shots are not as big as they look, but they're still plenty big, and I hit one of the small ones. Of course. As the homing shots are getting confused about what to target. I think the enemies have kind of a priority system where there's an internal numbering. When you take one out, the shots go to the next one, but yeah. Getting constant craze because of the lasers. Should be safe here. And soon we should have Patchouli. The Librarian, maybe a little further. I don't remember exactly how long the stage is. Yeah, this looks like one of those cases where taking out the fairy cleared the screen. Nice. I think these are aimed, so yeah, you can just dodge a little bit and be fine. But the bonus points to get more lives. There's another case of fairies. Yeah. Took out the fairy just before using the bomb, so I didn't actually need to bomb. But better safe than sorry. Got a 1-up from points again. Aren't there any windows in this place? And it didn't look this big from the outside, basically. Here's Patchouli. She's basically wearing pajamas. Looks really comfy. Why are you there, red-white? Don't cause a mess in my library. Library? Red-white? Anyway. It's saying this book is worth 5 years worth of donations at your shrine, I think. Reimu is saying something about not getting any donations anyway. Well then, that's all it's worth. Anyway, how can you read in such a dark place? Yeah, there's that. I think it's an idiom again. I'm not night blind like you are, I think. Anyway, Reimu's suggesting that she's not. Asking who's in charge here. There's more talking. Let's just get to fighting again. Especially with their fancy lasers. To dodge one way and then back the other way, and watch out for the bullets in between them. Not that bad. At least not on normal. Lunatic will be another matter. Patchouli is an Eastern-style Western magician. So her shots, her spell cards are based on the Chinese elements. Wood, water, fire, metal, and soil, I think. That was fire, obviously. Yeah, the lasers are back. You'll notice I'm doing more focusing at this point because it's increasingly hard to dodge as you get further into the game and the shot patterns get denser. Anyway, this is the earth or soil one. Looks more like electricity to me. Maybe it's just because it's yellow. Also, which spell card she used depends not only on the difficulty, but also on which character and spell type you're using. Shot type, I guess. Okay, here we got combined stuff. This is fire and earth. Not too bad when they don't interfere with each other too much, but the semi-unpredictable earth shots, along with the weirdly shaped fire ones, are kind of dangerous. I don't think I really needed a bomb there, but again. And here's Mercury Poison, one of my least favorites. So you get the things coming at you, they're curving in two different directions, and that always throws me off. It's probably fine, but yeah, this is metal and water, so Mercury. And there we go. Reimu's asking about it being bigger on the inside than the outside again. There's someone here who likes playing with space. As our next boss has the ability to manipulate time and space, especially known for time, but the space thing is there also. Anyway, still at 4 lives, so doing pretty well. If you're playing on easy difficulty in this game, you cannot go past stage 5. I forget whether using continues also restricts you that way or not. I think it might. Those are semi-aims, but have kind of weird curve to the lines of shots. Ah. I knew that was going to happen, and I didn't bomb. Yeah, that was a death bomb. You could hear the dying noise, but the bomb went off anyway. Yeah, I should not need to bomb this much, but again, I don't want to take any more deaths than I have to. And here's Sakuya. Painting's not getting anywhere. Something about mad about the fairies, I think. Yeah, and these combinations of the big knives and the little kunai are trickier to dodge because they kind of overlap in a way that makes it so you can't just slide back and forth unless you're at the right height. Anyway, misdirection, which means she'll be over here. As mentioned, she messes with time and space, so what's effectively teleportation? I think canonically what she's doing is either stopping or dramatically slowing time, moving across to the other side and then restarting it. But as far as Reimu is concerned, it might as well be teleporting. And this part is just spam, and I walked right into that. Alright, this is good streaming. Streaming being the thing where you do little movements to avoid shots that are aimed at you. Okay, 3 guys, 3 bombs. I should be able to get to stage 6 at least. You don't seem to be the person in charge here. You, guest of the mistress? She's not gonna let me get through if I say I'm here to beat her. Yeah, you're not getting through. She rarely sees anyone. Anyway. Also, she likes it dark because, minor spoiler, she's a vampire. Sakuya is supposedly an ordinary human, but there's some question marks around that. Oh, come on. I bombed. Guess I didn't react fast enough. There's our time stop. Forgot how to dodge that. I think you're actually safe right where you are. From at least the first wave of knives. Or, no, maybe you just need to stream them. Yeah, when you hit full power mode, the shots on the screen turn into little mini points. So if you can get that to happen at a strategically advantageous time, good for you. Luna Clock. Yeah, the first wave is aimed at you. The second wave that turns green is aimed weirdly. And if that hadn't cleared out the knives, it could have gotten messy. Here we have knives bouncing off the walls. It does not really make sense, but it doesn't need to. Try to concentrate. Ayatsuri Da. Yeah, I dodged that poor Lisa, which just bomb and get in her face to maximize damage. Yeah, this is just she's throwing knives everywhere and then randomly changing the directions, I think. And now will you let me see her? You're strong, but maybe she can... Okay, I think with continuous I'll be able to make it to the ending at least. Don't know that I'll make it through without having to continue, but... Final stage. There's another spammy point. I want to go up and collect everything, but it's not really safe to. There we go. A few extra points from that. We have the overlapping circles of things. Not too dense at this point, but... And I don't have bombs. I was trying to bomb there. But yeah, that doesn't work when you're out. Sakuya is back to be the mid-boss here, so... Mid-boss, boss, boss. Mid-boss, boss, mid-boss. Same character. Here we have knife spam. It's not too bad. Another thing. Eternal Weak. This is just spam. Got a 1-up out of points to get a bomb off of her, so 2 lives, 4 bombs coming into Rumelia. I don't think there's any standard enemies before her. Yep, straight to the Blood Moon. You show yourself, and there she is. The Eternal Crimson Young Moon, Rumelia Scarlet. Anyway. Vampire. Cute little vampire, but still a vampire. Let's skip the talk and go straight to fighting. And as you can see, final bosses tend to be rather spammier than earlier bosses. Okay, Star of Davide? So Star of David. Just not with the English pronunciation. That wasn't too bad. Alright, that's the shotgunning attack. Try to misdirect it a bit. No, that's... she comes back, sweeps up. Okay. And then she aims one. And there's another aimed one. Okay, so far so good. Okay, the showering ones aren't too bad. It's when the crisscrossing ones also get in there that it gets messy. Successful death bomb. And here we have knife spam. Honestly, not that bad. If she mixes in other shots, then it will be, but that's not happening, so yeah. Vlad. Vlad something or other. Probably the full name of Vlad the Impaler. Okay, out of lives. I do have bombs. And here she is temporarily invulnerable while turning into a bat. This is streamable. Not nearly as bad as it looks. This is also streamable. But you need to make sure you do have room to stream. This is just spam. Stream me again. And finally, Scarlet Shoot. Yeah, I dodged that wrong and probably could have gotten away without bombing, but yeah. Out of lives, so let's not do anything stupid. Red magic. Not as in Final Fantasy Red Mage. Notice that if you bomb at this point, she turns invulnerable, so your offensive advantage is gone. But you can still bomb defensively to avoid taking a hit. Yeah, focus on dodging. And get hit anyway. So, continues. When you continue, you drop the full power items, so you get back to full power immediately. And as I've mentioned, these shots are not as big as they can look. But they're still plenty big. 60-some on the timer. So, even with Reimu's lower attack... Okay, that was the last card. I couldn't remember whether it was or not. Our rank 1 multiplier times 1. Additional extra lives gives me a penalty, but I don't care. We got to the ending, which... Just kind of skip through this. Bad ending number 1. Get normal or better without continuing. Okay, is that enough to unlock extra? I don't think so. So I got close, but not quite. Here's the credit rolls. Project Shrine Maiden, 6th. The first one was in 1985. Touhou Koma... Kyo? Is it? Anyway, Scarlet Ma is the general magic demon, whatever. 2002, staff. Can I fast forward this? Programmer is Zune. There's some support from other people, but graphic designer, Zune. Music composer, Zune. Special thanks, some other people. Ant, Fung. All test players, and you. Extra stage. So, yeah, we have clear, so... I'll just put in the name as clear. And 100% of the game. 1 continue, 13 deaths, 16 bombs, 10 spell cards, bonuses. I think the last has something to do with lag frames. You can't save a replay because they used to continue. And... yeah, that does not unlock extra because I used to continue. Now, yeah, that's Touhou 6 Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. We can practice, however. Only stages you've already gotten to, I think. So I can go up to stage 3 in Lunatic, which I did in a kind of a warm-up run. Nothing on hard, except stage 1, because you always have stage 1. But I could jump straight to save sticks for practice. Anyway, some of the later games let you practice individual spell cards. That's not a thing yet. But, yeah. At the high scores are in here. There's Sakyo with her knives. Music room. We have the music. So I can't go to the extra stage, but there's the extra stage music. 100th year... not sure how yet would fit with that. Like, anniversary, celebration, something like that, of Magical Girls. But yeah, the extra stage theme, but again, I did not clear without continuing, so extra stage is not available. Yeah. So come back next week, I'll be doing Touhou 7, same rules, homing Reimu, go as far as I can. Use continues as needed, try not to. And if you sit there at the title, there's a demo. You don't have to shoot all the time, it just normally you do, because why wouldn't you? Anyway, enjoy your weekend, and come back next week for more Touhou.